Hey friends, today I'm going to show you how to use our flower looms. These are made for us of solid wood by Katrinkles, and they're engraved with our wildflower design, so they're so pretty. They come in 3 sizes, 3, 4, and 5 inch approximately, and you can use them to make the prettiest woolen flowers. So this one's made with the size medium loom. These two are made with the littlest loom, and we're going to make one with the large size loom. These are great for attaching to your weavings. You can use them to embellish napkin holders or place settings at a table, tie them onto gifts, onto hairpins for beautiful hair accessories. They just have so many fun uses and they're really easy to make. So let's get started. You can see that they definitely work best with a bulky yarn, and I love the single ply. And so I'm going to use this bright, cheerful pink. I'm going to start with leaving a tail that I pull down through the center, just enough so that I can tie it off later. I'm going to come around behind one of these cogs and go to the opposite one across from it. And you want to keep this pretty loose, because if you pull too tightly across them like that, you won't be able to get it off the loom later. So just loosely go across to the opposite side. Doesn't matter whether you go left to right or right to left. Once you do a few, you can drop the tail and maybe use your thumb to keep track of where you're going. Because once you go all the way around, you're actually going to do this a few times. For this big loom, looks good to do 3 times to get it nice and full. So you can see I've made the full circle, but I'm going to keep going and keep going over it. And on the littlest one, it gets kind of crowded. So in that case, I usually only do it like 2 times. I might have just gone over the same one a couple times as I was talking, but that's okay. The nice thing about this is you can't really like mess it up too much. It just looks like a natural flower. So yeah, I want to go there. And I was just here. Now I want to check and see what's left. Who still needs 3 loops? And that one does. And now ideally, I should have almost 3 loops here. Who's left? Okay. You can see, now I want to count and see, do these all have 3 loops? And it looks like they do. Oh, this guy's 1 short, but that's okay. It's good enough for us to do this for now. So once I've gone around all of them 3 times, I'm going to take my tail and I'm just going to kind of push it through the middle. And I want to be sort of across from this one so that I can just tie off this color for now. So don't even need a needle necessarily, just push it through. And I want to tie this loosely because if I tie it too tight, I may sort of misshape the flower. So I'll just give it a loose tie. And then we'll pick a contrast color for our flower. So I've already picked this white. And I've just kind of estimated a good size piece that I'll need for the center of my flower. And I'm using a tapestry needle, but really any kind of needle that you can thread your thick yarn through. Now I'm going to look and see in between these loops, where's a good starting point. There's one. So I'm going to come up through here and come up through. And I'm going to look for, see, here's the other side. Yeah. And go down between that. Now here on the back, the tail that doesn't have the needle, I'm just going to leave enough to tie off. And not just to tie off, but this is the end I might use to tie onto my loom or whatever else. I'm going to leave a little bit extra there. And I'm going to do this back and forth, up and over, until I've made a crisscross center that pulls this tight and makes the flower. And it does work better if you go across the back as well as the front to gather these. So maybe I will come up through here and look for a space in here. It's pretty crowded because this is really bulky. That looks about right. Okay. And you'll see this start to tighten up as I go. So here's where you can go tighter and pull tighter, because you'll get it you'll see that crisscross starting to form. There, now I'm going to go across to the opposite side. Look for one here. Pull it through. Here, I'll do this so you can see it better. Look for one here. This single ply can be a little splitty, so I kind of want to make sure I don't split the individual strand. Yeah, good. And let's see, where haven't I gone? I haven't gone here. And then for the center, you can do this, you can repeat this like as many or as few times as you want, like this kind of crossover, until you feel like you've got the look you want for your center flower. So look at that and see, I'm going to pull this tail at the back. Sometimes that gets a little caught up here. I'm going to pull that free. Okay, that's looking pretty good. But now I also, wherever I tie this off, they need to be at opposite ends, and it's not. So I'm going to kind of go at least one more time to get this on the opposite end. Maybe go back over this once or twice and just make sure it's nice and solid. So I'll go here. Okay. Yep, and then I want to go, so here's where I will come here. You can see it kind of also tucking up and securing the back. Okay, oops, lost a loop, put it back. Okay. And one more here. Okay. Nope, he's here. All right. Now, done this kind of in haste, but we've got the idea. Now, here's where you do want to kind of tie it a little bit tight. You can see it's sort of holding down as well the tails that we tied off already. Usually I cut those before I begin this centerpiece, so I would cut that those pink tails so they wouldn't be in the way, but that's okay here. Nobody's really looking at the back. So give that a pretty good snug knot, but not tight enough that you'll break the yarn. Okay, now we've got the tails. Now we're going to ease these loops off. If you did find that you did it a little bit tight, you can always use your tapestry needle to kind of ease off the first one, and then the ones on the other side should pop off more easily. This one's fine. Okay. All right, and there we go. Then you want to kind of fluff this up, and you'll remember I happened to, like, the scrap piece of yarn that I had, I ran out of it on one of these notches. Like, so one of these notches only had 2 loops instead of 3, but you can't even tell, right? Because we're just going to fluff it up and make that look cute. And there it is. And now if I want to figure out, give it some more dimension there, I can kind of, you know, play with these, twist these the way I want, make them look how I'd like them to look, especially if I'm setting them into the weaving. I can really kind of play with the texture on this however I like. And to show you very quickly, we'll use this one. If I wanted to place it and secure it into a weaving, here's a piece that I have here. It's really simple. I would just take these tails that are left over, push it through the warp and weft, and secure it with a tie on the back. So I haven't done that here, I've just pushed, but I would then reach around the back, secure it with a knot, tie it off, and it would be like that.